Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. It's BMW Dr. Dean here. As you can see, we've got the E61, and now you can see I'm going to start removing it to check for water contamination underneath in the brake servo unit, because I don't think that's ever been checked. I'm going to take off the engine cover as well to see what's wrong going on under here, and also the oil filter, because I saw on the receipts, which there's loads, that apparently this was leaking and it would have to be changed if it carried on. So I'm going to be taking that off as well and seeing. We're also going to be doing the coolant, because I don't know if you lot can see. I'll open it right now. There's nothing inside the coolant, and that's quite concerning. As you'll see now when I lift it up, the stick is all the way at the bottom. No, that shouldn't be like that. So I'm going to be topping that up for now. We've also got quite a lot to do engine wise. I want to check all around it and see if there's any kind of faults down here where the oil was coming from, and down here as well from the PCV or the hoses. I've now managed to code off the airbag light, which was the safety battery terminal. Most people always put a resistor on it, which causes the airbag light to come on. There's now I've coded the SFZ module out, which is the safety battery cut-off terminal, and now the airbag light's gone off. So that's one fault I've already got rid of. I was meant to do a video on it, but I didn't have the camera with me to record it at the time. So now I've got the camera, I'm just going to be showing you on the engine, and I'll show you that the airbag light now goes off. The rest of them, the air suspension we're going to be doing, and parking sensors, which I have now found out is only the rear right, but I'm going to be replacing them all on this car. So we'll be back in a minute once I get all this cowling off here. We need to remove it. You need a 30mm socket to unloosen the pollen filter housing, and just screwdriver to pop that off, and also here, this bolt and that bolt, and all over, and all the plastics come off all at once. So let me get that off and we'll be right back. Now just quickly guys, as you can see, I've removed that oil pollen filter housing, and as you can see, this is what I mean by people try and go cheap on BMW. They don't even replace the pollen filter housing. It literally took me like 1 minute just to remove this, and people can change it themselves, and they choose not to. This is so important for your heating element, and now I know that 100% is going to be water when I take this cover off, because just when you see them like that, you know this panel's never been removed. It's never had a valve cover gasket, and it's never had a PCV. This is typical, as I like to call it, trumpy people. They don't look after their cars, and then they wonder why their cars let them down. This is the normal average for the UK user. When you get them off English people here, they don't do nothing with their cars. Okay boys and girls, so as luck would have it, there is no water sitting in here. As I don't know if you can see, there is actually no water in here. Well, that's a first, considering the whole drainage holes were blocked with leaves, but there don't seem to be no water here on the electronics, which I suppose is a good thing on this side. But I don't know if you can see down there, but this has got a big oil leak coming from the rocker cover gasket. I can see all the oil straight away on the blanking plate, and all on the O2 sensors. So that's where the oil was leaking from, and that's why this car's losing so much oil. So I'm going to be taking that off once I get all these plastics off, and we're going to be seeing why that's all happening. We're going to be checking the PCV hoses as well, but I'm very glad there's no water in there, which shows me a good sign. And we also need to top up this coolant as well, because this is not good. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've now got the other side off, and as you can see, our ECU box is on the other side of the engine, so we don't suffer from water here. It's only over the other side there which you get the water. Now I'm going to go and remove all these plastics here, so I can remove the engine cover, because I want to take the engine cover off so I can get to the PCV system at the back, which is over here, the pipe, and see if that's been split and corroded. And then I'm going to work my way down to the sump. But from what I can see, I've topped up the coolant, and as you can see, the level sensors come up. I'm just going to walk around here, but I don't know if you can see, that still isn't full, and I only put a quarter of a bottle in. It was missing, but it shouldn't be missing any coolant. So I'm going to be inspecting for leaks now all over the engine. Now it's in the lighting, and see what we can find. Oh dear. Now just by lifting the cover, you can see here, I don't know if you can see, let me try and move these lights around, put them down here. I don't know if you can see all the oil that's been dropped into spark plug holes, which are right here. There's drowned in oil everywhere, where some people, they've been topping it up where the oil's been burning, and they have soaked. Now I wonder why the car's running rough. So what I'm going to need to do is get that oil out of here immediately, because that is not good one bit. I need to check all the other holes as well, make sure oil ain't gone down them. But by the looks of it, they're clear. It looks like people have been missing the oil. I've been tipping it straight into the sockets. So I'm going to have to sort that out immediately. So we'll be back once I now get that oil out of all here. Okay guys, so now I have definitely found the cause of the problem here. So on first glances, it looked like the rocker cover was leaking down the back here, but now after looking, this hose here is cracked in between the insulation. It's cracked, so I can feel it's all wet on the PVC pipe, and it's actually come really loose from the PVC system itself. Now what I reckon's happened is it's gone back in. The system's got clogged with air. The PCV's not operating how it's meant to be operating, which isn't a good cause. This pipe here now needs to come off. We're gonna have to do that when the part comes, but at the moment I'm just fully inspecting the car. We have now got the oil out of here. As you see, I've took the spark plugs out and I cleaned all the oil down there. The oil's now gone. Well, I'm still fully inspecting the car. The pipe going to the sump for the PVC seems okay. Again, I wouldn't know if it's cracked until I bring it up. Down in the intake manifold itself, it's kind of covered in oil on the block, but when I get the intake manifold off, I will know more. But at this stage, by the looks of things, it's the PVC that's gone bad on this car, and what's happening is it's causing a loss of oil where the oil is escaping into this insulation, and it's very, very ringing wet, which isn't good. But as you can see, I've got the majority of the oil out of here from what was in there. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's quite, most of it's all out. I don't know what these people did to this car. I really don't. But all down there you can see the oil it's literally caked in oil on the blanking plate and on the sensors itself. Now they're running along there, which I'm gonna have to remove because I can see the valve cover gasket. You can see all along here is leaking out the sides. That's all gonna have to come up to be changed. The whole valve cover itself. There isn't really any other problems with this car apart from the oil leaking. Obviously I'm gonna have to check the sump once the belly pan is off, the skid plate as you lot call it, because I suspect it is leak. But as you can see, there's no leaks down there. I don't know if you can see, there's no leaks down there on the belly pan, which is a good thing. He's got a new radiator on it, as they replaced the radiator as well, because straight after the water pump failed, they said that the radiator failed, which you would expect. That's what happens when people neglect these cars. You're going to get the biggest problems possible. My car and these guys, I rescued it in time. It seems to be perfect. But people like to just drive them and drive them. You can't just drive a BMW to look good, as I say. You have to maintain them. These cars require fixing every week. There's always going to be a problem with them every week, and that's common for BMW. That's where you start to have to learn about them and not just inspect it. You're going to be able to drive it like a daily Ford and it's going to last you. It don't work like that. These cars are reliable, but they require repairs. And that's the God's honest truth about them. A lot of people in this country seem to believe the same as in the US. You can drive these as a daily car. They're hard to fix. Like on one of the receipts from the garage, they put that the engine, it had internal engine oil loss, sorry. And it was an internal problem. This is not an internal problem at all. I don't know what garage these guys took it to, but I have to say they're very, very stupid guys. Very stupid, and clearly know nothing about BMW. This is what happens when you go to these old English people, mechanics, and they know nothing about German technology and nothing about the way these cars work. They just think they run like a Ford, which they do not. The oil on these is crucial. They always suffer with oil leaks regardless how much you fix them. They'll always lose a bit of oil. It's normal for BMW to lose it, but garages here just don't understand them, and this is the problem why a lot of people sell them, the same as in this country, the same as in the US, because people don't understand how to repair them at all. I even saw on the receipt that the oil cooler was leaking, and to go back if it carries on, but I can't see it leaking here. But I'm going to be changing the gaskets on that anyway, so that's another thing we're going to be doing. But overall, this car has been very, very badly neglected, and I look to get it back to top state. As you lot are going to see, the fixes are very, very cheap. For the air suspension, it's a very, very cheap fix. The max it's cost me is £10 for a pipe, and you're going to see the fix that I'm going to do. It takes about 2 minutes to fix it once the wheels are off. But all in all, this car has been very badly neglected. This is how mine was, funny enough, when I bought it. Oil all down there where someone had been refilling it for losing oil. The same problems, and this has got the exact same problems as well, where someone has been filling it because it's been losing oil, and the computer's telling them that it needs topping up every 200 miles, half a litre. Well, no, that's not the case. Probably these bolts, I'm going to go around and check them. These are probably broken. As you guys know, these are torque bolts, and they're only torque to yield. They're one-time use. You got to reuse, get new ones and reuse them. Probably some of these are cracked from their overheating. As the guy said, it didn't overheat before the water pump. He saw the oil leak and took it to the garage, but if he drove it to the garage, it would have overheated. People don't understand that. The electric water pump runs on its own, so the engine would have shut down. like I said, apart from that, this coil's been replaced, as I can see here, and so has that one. But he said to me he replaced all the coils, but I can't see how, because all I can see here is 2 grey Bosch ones. And as you can see here, these are Bosch, but these are original. Them ones are new over that side, on cylinder 5 and 6. But as I say, this is what you get. This is what you expect in this country. People don't understand these cars, and then this is what happens. And then I have to go around and pick up the pieces. But hey, this is why I suppose I got a bargain on this car, and you lot are gonna end up liking this video on the channel, I suppose, because this is gonna. There's a lot of work to be done. As I told you on my car, I had done it all before I started out, but now I've got to go through it again. And this is a very easy job. And like I say, hopefully the person will see this and know. At the end of the day, it was an easy fix, and only if you put the time and effort into it, this car can become very good and drivable. But guys, that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I've got obviously a lot more to come. Please like, share and subscribe on my channel. This is BMW Dr. Dean here. We have a lot of great content coming up. The programming for the flashing of the engine and gearbox modules we're going to be doing last after I've done the whole car, once the car's driving perfect, because I know it gives a lot more power, the engine ECU update. So that's going to be the last thing we're going to carry out on this car. I hope you guys have liked this video. This is BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.